Hi, welcome back to Get Fit for a Purpose. I'm Jo, your host, and today I want to talk about snacking. So, snacking when you're on a diet is something that can undo all of the good work you've put in for the rest of the day. Snacking in itself isn't inherently bad, but if you're trying to lose weight and you're finding yourself reaching for the crisp cupboard, reaching for the biscuits, I want to give you a few things to think about to try and break that habit, find out what it is that's going on with you. So we all have different triggers for mindless snacking. There's so many. It could be the mid-afternoon slump. Lots of people find if they have carbs at lunchtime that it just makes them lethargic in the afternoon. It might just be boredom. You might just be bored and reach for the crisp cupboard or the biscuit tin. Or it might be something like stress or anxiety in your comfort eating. Identifying the trigger of what it is that's making you snack is important because you need to know what that trigger is in order to come up with a solution. So spend a few days taking some notes, mental notes, or if you get brain fog, then jot them down in a notebook about when and why you're reaching for those snacks, because you need that knowledge to help you make the change. When you do reach for a snack, make sure you pause, just stop yourself, even if it's just for a moment, and ask yourself, am I actually hungry? Or is this just a habit? What's going on? Why am I reaching for this? And that pause, that moment that you check in with yourself, it just gives you a chance to break the autopilot mode and understand why you're doing what you're doing, because you'll be really surprised how often you dive into the fridge, you dive into the snack cupboard when you're not really hungry and you don't really need to do it. And the act of pausing, it's just going to help you notice when you do this. So if when you do that, you identify it's just a habit, that you aren't actually really hungry, you're just used to snacking at that particular time or in that particular emotional state, well, what next? Well, it's a really good idea to try and find something that soothes you instead of the snacking. It might be that you can have a glass of water. Maybe if you're bored, take a quick walk. Do some light stretching if you're a little bit stressed. Just engage in any small, healthy activity that aligns with your fat loss goal. It's not just about avoiding snacking, it's about replacing the habit that you have to snack with something positive. It's called pattern interrupt. It's something that helps you with your stress, your boredom, or whatever it is that you're feeling. Every time you swap out the snack and do something positive that actually really is soothing you, then you're reinforcing that new, healthier habit. So like I said, it's called pattern interrupt. Scientific stuff, evidence-based. It does take a little bit of practice, like all new habits. It's not like, oh, do it once, that's it, I'm cured. But it is a proven way to make a change if you commit to it. Of course, sometimes you're going to reach for the snack cupboard and when you check in with yourself, you're going to go, actually, no, I am really hungry. And that's okay. The key is to be prepared. So make sure that you've got some healthy, satisfying snacks ready to go that are easy to grab. Think about fruits, nuts, veggies with hummus, maybe a small pot of Greek yogurt. So those are snacks that are good for you and will keep you fuller for longer. By planning the snacks that you have, switching them up for something that's a little bit healthier, less processed than biscuits and cookies, you're taking control of the situation and you're making a healthy decision. So again, it's a positive mood. You decide what and when you eat, not your boredom, not those fleeting feelings that you're having at a particular moment in time. A couple of other things to consider if you are hungry between meals is, if it's happening a lot, are you falling into the trap of saving up all of your calories for the end of the day? It might seem like a good strategy that you can save on those calories, prove to yourself that you can do it, that you can exist on a low calorie diet and maybe save them up for a bigger dinner or that treat in the evening. What actually happens for most of us is that by the time you get to the end of the day, by the time you get home from work or you settle down in the evening, you're so hungry that you're much more likely to overeat. So it's like holding back a river with a dam. Eventually, the pressure builds up, the hunger builds up so much that when it finally breaks, you just want to eat everything in sight. It normally happens when you're waiting for your dinner to cook. So perhaps you can smell the food. You're now feeling ravenously hungry. You can't wait the 15, 20 minutes that it's going to take for your meal to be on the plate and ready to eat. So you reach for a packet of crisps or a biscuit or anything that's easy and to hand, just to take the edge off that hunger. If this is you, think about whether you're evenly distributing your calories across your meals and snacks throughout the day, because ideally that's what you should be doing, because you need to keep your energy levels stable, your hunger in check, and that's actually going to make you less likely to reach for the unhealthy snacks later in the day. The other thing to consider is whether you're having enough food volume in your diet and protein in your meals. It's the food volume, it's the bulky foods that help you feel full, and how much protein is in your food that will keep you feeling full. Protein wise, you need roughly 25 to 30 grams at each meal, possibly a little bit more. And you're probably not getting that at your breakfast and your lunch. So if you are hungry, look at ways to bulk up your meals. I don't know off the top of my head, a big bowl of salad with a generous portion of the protein of your choice, whether that's meat or a vegetarian or a vegan option. That's a good option for lunch. Having protein heavy breakfast is really helpful too. There you go. Give Pattern Interrupt a try. Pay attention to how you feel when you reach for the snacks. Try and find out about your snacking habits. Once you understand them, it'll give you ideas. You'll understand how you can solve them and how you can make some healthier choices that align with your fat loss goal. And again, take a look at why you're hungry, why you're ravenous between meals. Because if it's happening a lot, you probably do need to take a look at how you're eating and what you're eating. That's all for today's episode. A quick one. Hope you found it useful. I'm Jo. I'll see you next time.